All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, on to our daily Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. A lot happened with Bitcoin today, and a lot happened with the Bitcoin miners. So we talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners all the time on this channel. Please remember to check and see if you have subscribed to the channel. If not, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could smash the like button, it helps the channel out a lot, and it helps get this video out to more people. So I really appreciate it. Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin. First, I want to go to the Bitcoin miner big board, and we'll take a look at where we ended at the end of the day. There was a lot of movement today. So you can see this is mostly green, and some of these are very green. So I just want to highlight a few of these. Some notables: HUT was up over 10% today. Riot was up almost 12%. Marathon was up 21%. And I want to say all of those were actually much, much higher earlier in the day. So even Marathon, which ended up 21%, at one point was up over 30% during the day. So it was a very green day for a lot of these Bitcoin miners. A few of them were hanging around zero. A couple of them landed a little below zero. Stronghold was down 1.6%. Iris Energy, stock ticker IREN, was down 2.77%. And most notably, Mawson, stock ticker MIGI, was down 13.5%, and there is a reason for that. And if you want to know what that reason is, I did a video on Mawson this morning, so you can check that out right here. And I go into great detail as to exactly what is going on with Mawson and why they pulled back so much today. That was not a random pullback. Okay, so I made a graphic representation of today. Yesterday, you guys gave me some positive feedback that you liked these graphs better than a lot of the other forms of spreadsheets and whatnot. So this is just another way of looking at the day today. You can see along the bottom of this are all the Bitcoin miners. This is in order of their performance. And the reason I like to show it this way is you can see there was massive, massive discrepancies. No longer are these Bitcoin miners all just moving together as one group. Marathon was up 21% today. Riot up 12%. Then you had several of these. Cleanspark was almost even on the day. Cypher was up 2%. Stronghold was down 2%. So these are dramatic differences. So there was a time where it seemed like all of the Bitcoin miners were just moving along with Bitcoin. Now, I think that Bitcoin is affecting them. I think that the NASDAQ is affecting them. So where the stock market goes up or down, and we'll look at that next because it took a giant U-turn today. I think that has an effect. And I think more and more and more, the specific performance of these companies and their liquidity and their balance sheet is having a major impact on the price of their stock. Okay, so before we get to the Bitcoin charts, let's just take a look at what happened in the market today. Okay, so across the board, you can see it ended up a red day. The S&P 500 was down 0.8%. The Dow was down almost 0.7%. The NASDAQ was down 0.8%. And the Russell was down 0.34%. But if you look at each one of these, and they're tiny charts, but they show you the same exact thing. The day started out very green and ended up red. The NASDAQ is what Bitcoin seems to most closely follow, and it did so again today. Bitcoin started out strong and then was dragged down with the NASDAQ with it. However, we're going to go to the chart and take a look because a bunch of other interesting things happened today on the Bitcoin chart. Okay, so I'm going to look at this a little bit differently today. I'm going to start on the Bitcoin 2-hour time frame because there's a channel, an ascending channel that we seem to be forming. And I want to go through this specifically because if this continues to play out, then there could be more upside left to this run. It's also something to take a look at and keep our eye on to see if we're going to keep our upward trend going or if this is over and we've run out of steam and we're going to start heading back down. So this goes back 5 days. You can see this starts at about 18,890. So that was a low, and then you can see each one of these lows is higher, all the way up to today, where we are right now at around 21,400. And on the other side, each one of these highs is higher, all the way up every single day, all the way up through the middle of the day today. Does this trend continue? We've got a little room here, you can see, before we get to the bottom of this channel. So I'm not sure that this is the low so far. That was the low on the day. Can we bounce off of this and go back up and test the high? Because we've already crossed a critical line, and that would cross another major line. So I want to show you what those are. But I wanted to let everybody know this trend is unfolding here for the last 5 days. So if this continues, we could have a breakout to the upside. So I'm going to visit this exact chart tomorrow to see if this held up or if this failed. If we fail here in the next few hours and go outside of the bottom of this range, then it looks like maybe this trading range is over and we got to figure out what's next. If we can stay inside and get a bump, then there could be good things ahead. Okay, then this is Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. We've been looking at this almost every day, and the reason is we have this green line right here, and that was the first week of July. And you can see we had a big run up in the first week of July that was really simultaneous with this green line, which was really the RSI on the 4-hour time frame going from oversold all the way to overbought. So Bitcoin was up over 20% in that time frame. So all I basically did was exactly copy this green line and move it over here. So we've been following this along. Yesterday we were down here near 50, and I had mentioned if 50 does not hold and we go below 50, then this run is probably over. What we need to do is gravitate back up to the green line. So if you look and see what happened, we pretty much exactly bounced off of 50 and then went straight back up to this green arrow right here. So that kept us on track, and you can see that was from this low to this high on the chart. So now, of course, we've pulled back again. So I'm gonna say pretty much the exact same thing today. We need to stay over 50. It would be nice not to even hit 50 so that this is a higher low, but the key is to stay over 50, and then we need to gravitate back up to this green arrow. Now, we're running out of room here. What I'm hoping is this cycle lasts longer than the 1 week that this cycle lasted, because we've got a lot of room left. We're at 53 on the RSI. We could go all the way up to 80 or 90 on the 4-hour RSI. That would not be out of the question. So there's a lot of room left to run if we can keep the run going. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna do, this is on the 1-day time frame, and we've been talking about this for the last month and a half. This green line right here is the 200-week moving average. This is only the 3rd time in history that Bitcoin has gone under the 200-week moving average. The other 2 times it almost immediately returned and got back over the 200-week moving average and created that as support. This time is different. We have now spent well over a month under the 200-week moving average. I said yesterday when we were on this red candle that I really thought it was unusual that we were not testing this 200-week moving average. So that was in yesterday's video, and you'll see today we had a gigantic green candle with a giant wick, and it wicked all the way up. Actually, if I zoomed in, you'll see we actually got ever so slightly above the 200-week moving average, which is a first since we went below it. Now, it looks like we got rejected again for the day anyway, and we've pulled back since then. This is the movement that I've been looking for. So all the things we've been talking about the last month and a half on the channel, and I know I've been saying we've been bouncing along the bottom, and that has been very repetitive and frustrating, but there's the potential. We are sitting right here now with today's action, potentially maybe tomorrow or the next day, looking at a potential breakout. So again, I'm not getting my hopes up. We have been rejected many, many times, but a lot of the indicators are sitting right there on the brink, pointing to the fact that we could have a big run up in Bitcoin. And because we don't have anything between now and next Wednesday is the Fed meeting, and they will announce what in all likelihood, in my opinion, will be a 75 basis point rate hike. So typically what Jerome Powell has to say after the meeting is usually equal to or sometimes more important than what actually the rate hike is from the meeting. So we want to see what the talk is. What are the talking points after this meeting? And most specifically, there is no meeting next month, so we want to hear what are they thinking about after that. And when Jerome Powell says scary things, it tends to tank the market and Bitcoin along with it. So as long as he doesn't start talking about 1.0 rate hikes or worse, then really that's the last hurdle. That's the last data point. And we also have over a week between now and that meeting to run up. So I believe there's room to run up into that meeting in anticipation of that meeting, and then we'll see which way we go once we get there. Another thing I wanted to look at real quick is the fear and greed index. So we're at 20 right now on the fear and greed index, and we're a couple of hours away from getting the next update. I believe this next update we could get out of extreme fear. We've been in extreme fear for over 2 months. I'm going to go down to the chart and just take a quick look. I think that today or tomorrow, so either this update in 2 hours or tomorrow's update, has the potential to finally get out of extreme fear. This is one of the longest runs we've ever had in extreme fear. We have not even jumped up to fear even for 1 day in over 2 months. So if I go down to the chart, you're going to see we were at 27 on May 5th. 25 to 49 is fear. Under 25 is extreme fear. That is the last time we were over 25. Every single day since May 5th, we have been under 25. We have been as low as 6 multiple times, which has never happened before. So this really has been a historic couple of month run. You can see back on July 9th, we got to 24. So again, 25 would pop us out of extreme fear into fear. So on July 9th and July 10th, and then again yesterday on July 17th, we got to 24 3 different times. So I'm looking to get out of extreme fear. If we can jump into fear, if we can jump above 25, that would really be a big signal that we're moving into the next phase. Okay, the last thing I want to show, this is a chart of the total worldwide hash rate. So, and again, I got this from blockchain.com. Each place that you go, they vary a little bit, but effectively these are very, very similar. So I drew a line. This was March 12th, 2022. We were at 196. You can see every single day since then, we have been at or above that number until right now. So we are at the lowest point we've been in 4 months. So this benefits the Bitcoin miners. So those miners that have kept highly efficient and kept their machines running, July should be the lowest difficulty level we've had in many, many, many months. And obviously, the lower the difficulty level, the more Bitcoin you can potentially mine. So if we look, we have an adjustment coming in 3 days, and that is going to adjust down 4.6%. So 4 of the last 5 Bitcoin adjustments have been to the downside. July is going to be the easiest month since February of this year. So this really, I'm expecting to see better numbers when we get our July monthly updates and then again in August, because this rate will hold for the first several weeks of August. So just to take a look at a few of the Bitcoin miners in specific, just to show you what kind of roller coaster we had today. This is Bitfarms on the 1 hour time frame. So you can see this is where we closed on Friday. We gapped open and then ran up from there. So at its peak, Bitfarms was up over 18% today. It did finish the day up 6.8%. So 6.8% is a great day. That's a very green day. But understand it was up over 18%, which means if we can continue this trend and start to head back up and make some higher highs, I expect to see the price of Bitfarms take out this number that it got to today. So there is some potential run to the upside. And again, this is not financial advice. I'm not recommending that you buy this stock. I'm just showing you guys what happened today. And I will tell you, this is how I'm playing this. So we did have a pretty big pullback, even though that still represented a 6.8 increase from where we closed on Friday. HUT 8, very similar. This is the 1 hour time frame. HUT 8 actually was up as much as 27% today, somewhere in the middle of the day. It finished up about 10.7%. So again, it had a great day, but it was way, way higher than that. So same thing, not financial advice, but I'm hoping this is a little foreshadowing and we can revisit some of these prices quickly, if not tomorrow. If we can take out the line at 23,000, I think we might have a nice little run from there. However, we will have to wait and see. And again, this is not financial advice. So that's all I've got for you today on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. I hope everybody made some good money today. It was a very green day for the miners anyway. So thanks so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. And thanks so much, and we will see you in the next video.